locker room stuff. I feel like early on,
oh my
like,
gosh, oh my gosh, there was so much locker room talk. Oh my gosh, her body language, she was not happy. She hates this entire squad.
What is the true opinion of Caitlin Clark held by Aliyah Boston? Boston reveals more than ever in a recent interview on Suburb's Bird's Eye View podcast. Her first response to Caitlin during her undergraduate years, their time together as Indiana Fever teammates, the development of their relationship, and even her handling of Clark's injuries. She also makes some eye-catching discoveries about the locker room. This conversation is more than just sentimental. It's honest, unvarnished, and shockingly funny. Show your support for Aliyah, Caitlin, and the Fever by leaving a comment with AB and CC. Come on.
People in the Fever were like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be here.
This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Do you recall what Sheryl Swoopes said? On the other hand, when Caitlin Clark initially arrived in Indiana, Aliyah Boston gave the definitive in-your-face opportunity to swoop and put her in her place. Aliyah Boston was the most honest and inquisitive person. One of the most famous Final Four encounters in recent memory had pitted the two against one another. Aliyah also remembered what Caitlin had done that evening. Dropping 40 on someone's head isn't exactly something you just ignore when you become partners, so she acknowledges that she had to face it head on.
That year, I was like, I forgot, we were like doing something. We had something. I was like, Caitlin, I just want to say, I'm like really upset that you like did what you did in that Final Four game. I was like, I feel like I just need to get it off my chest because like we are teammates, but I'm like, you didn't have to do all that. Like you did not have to go for 40 on our dome. Like, girl, we could have just had fun.
Yeah,
but after that, it was like cool because obviously now we're on the same team, so you don't worry about that. But I always thought it was funny because I'm like, we just went from competing against each other, you beating us, and now we're on the same team. It's like, I was like, girl, it's okay. I get it. I'm not mad at you for real, but I am. Because like, why would you do that?
However, rather than tension, something surprisingly humorous, genuine, and novel emerged. Aliyah's interpretation of that instance demonstrates her level of groundedness and her ability to move swiftly from rival to partner. The two had an immediate respect for one another, and after they hit the floor together, their relationship would only get stronger.
Girl,
you did the thing, made the joke, moved on. That's really what it is.
And then you kind of just move on. You're like, listen, we're on the same team now, so let's whoop some butt. Let's do it.
100%.
Their chemistry became evident as the season progressed. Aliyah revealed the key to their bond, which extends far beyond the box score. It all comes down to intuition, trust, and the ability to roll, cut, or seal without ever calling for the ball.
Well, you guys do complement each other. Yeah. And I hear you that it takes time, but like, what do you think it is about each of your games that works well? Like, mostly in the pick and roll. We'll talk pick and roll.
I think honestly, one, like Caitlin, the attention she gets, right? Like teams are like up. Like if they're under and dropped, that shot's going up. Because I'm going to set a good screen, that shot's going up, and she's getting it. And then it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to step up. And she's just a phenomenal passer. Like, her angles, like, she knows exactly where to get it.
Aliyah's posture, Caitlin's fleeting vision, and their ability to read one another in real time have made them one of the most captivating pairs to watch. It becomes clear that this is more than just talent when Aliyah describes how she literally studies Caitlin's eyes to determine her next move. The basketball IQ level will simply continue to increase.
The way she sees the floor, I think, is great. And then for me, it's always like, I'm always going to get in her pocket because I know that she's looking to pass that ball and she wants to get us in the best position. And so for me, it's like, okay, well, I'm looking at your eyes. So once I see your eyes, I'm there. You don't have to say anything. I'm going.
Caitlin Clark's arrival to the Fever altered not only the team's roster, but also its reputation. All of a sudden, every play was scrutinized closely, and the pressure was extremely great. Aliyah Boston talked about how chaotic those first few weeks were with a new offensive rhythm, strange chemistry, and everyone expecting results right away. They were viewed as a powerhouse squad that failed right away rather than having time to gel.
The quote-unquote Caitlin Clark effect is definitely real. I think we all feel it in our unique ways.
100%.
Yeah. How did you experience it? Like, I know early on you talked about logging off social media. Like, what did you just learn in that period of time And by the way, the social media aspect is not Caitlin's fault.
No.
So it's like, but what did you learn just like in that period of time?
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves Caitlin. They love watching Caitlin. Yeah. And so I think that just brings so much eyes. And I think for our league, that's great. Like, that is great for us. You have so many people coming in, they're watching. Like I always say, like, they might come in for Caitlin and they leave and they're like, dang, this girl's a hooper too.
Yeah.
Oh, I like her. Like,
you're seeing
you
it
hear
in
so many people say it. You
viewership.
hear, like, everyone says it. And I think you just kind of embrace that.
The media frenzy was detrimental. Each lost link turned into a plot. Online strangers analyzed body language as if it were game tape. It got to the breaking point for Aliyah. She puts enough strain on herself already. Trolls casting doubt on her relationship with a teammate she was still getting to know was the last thing she needed. She then logged off.
Well, a lot of it too can be people that are trolling. A lot of people that are talking. But for me, it's like, I am someone that already puts so much pressure on myself. And so for you to come in and tell me like, dang, you're like the worst postman I've ever seen in my life. It's like, you know what? Hear me out. I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
You can say, I'm going to exit.
But Aliyah never held Caitlin accountable. The exact opposite. She commended her for bringing attention to the league, embracing the spotlight, and gaining new supporters. She criticized the irrational notion that two up-and-coming celebrities would click right away. That isn't how actual chemistry functions. And the outcomes speak for themselves now that they've had time to develop together.
Well, there's a lot of things. What kind of things do you say?
I'm not in the locker room.
Okay.
But I'm talking about more social media.
Okay.
It's a turn. Right? It's a turn, right? It's really a turn of the tides.
Well,
right.
Gil, here's my point. The beginning of the year, right? Everybody saw it.
The drama, or at least the online version of it, then broke out. All of a sudden, rumors circulated regarding the locker room. Beef rumors, animosity, and tacit treatment. The media and fans believed they had everything worked out. Aliyah, meantime, had just woken up from a nap. Yes, exactly. All she could do when she logged on and saw the mayhem was to laugh with her teammates and ask, "Y'all good?" The alleged tension was that genuine.
Oh my gosh, there was so much locker room talk, and
everybody I talked to were like, we vibe, we're good.
I was like, what are we talking about? Like, it's so easy for people to just make all these assumptions. Some people are like, oh my gosh, her body language, she was not happy, she hates this entire squad. I don't know, sometimes when you have a bad game personally, that takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
It's 100%. Not that you don't like the team, it's not you, but that takes a toll on you. Every single night we come out, we want to play good. And so like all the time there were locker room talks. I forgot what was the conversation one time. I woke up from my nap, getting ready to go to pregame. People are like, oh, they hate each other. We walked in the locker room, we're like, girl, you good?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just woke up. I couldn't tell you what's happening right now, but all I know is we about to hoop. At 7 p.m., we got a game.
Aliyah clarifies it. All of the stories that were being told were just chatter. The reality, this crew was committed, cohesive, and solely focused on winning. The Fever looked out for one another as much as they did for the locker room. On the court, the players remained silent and let their chemistry speak for itself while the outside world was ablaze with stories.
I hate when people get into this whole talking about what they think our locker room is like and what they think. I'm like, first of all, you're not in here.
No.
So you have no idea. And also, we're professionals. So if we want you to see something, you'll happily see it. If we don't, I guarantee you, you would never know there's a single problem. Why? Because that's none of your business, and we have more priorities, and that's winning.
Therefore, to all of the couch coaches and internet detectives who believe they had solved the case, perhaps pass on this one the next time. Because there isn't any drama brewing in Indiana. Every other team in the league is having trouble with it. Although the Fever's 2024 playoff comeback was brief, Aliyah Boston saw it as everything but pointless. She remembers the Connecticut series with a mixture of pride and annoyance. This is how close they were. They lost Game 1, but they were right there in Game 2. The two teams weren't separated by talent. It was an experience. The veterans of Connecticut knew when to attack, how to close, and how to control the tension of the playoffs. According to Aliyah, that was the true lesson.
What did you learn from it?
It's like, we say it all the time in our season now, like margin of error is so small, but when you're going up against a squad that has vets that have been in playoffs, that have won, it's like they know exactly what to do.
Did you feel a jump in
there was a jump in intensity and energy.
Isn't it crazy?
It's palpable. Insane. Like the very first game when we played against Connecticut, like it was close and then they kind of just... they took it and they ran with it. And then the second game, it was like, we were right there. Like, we were right there. And then I feel like
Not only did she remember the defeat, But she also felt that the Fever might have won if they had forced it to a third game back in Indiana. The conviction that they were nearly there ignited a fire. Making the playoffs is one thing, but feeling like you missed your opportunity is quite another. And that is the driving force behind this new phase.
Because honestly, I think if we had brought it back to Indy, we were gonna get it. No, we were, because we had just beat them at home. So it's still one of those that's like, dang, if we could have just gotten to that third game, I think we really would have came out and just went bananas. But I think it was a great experience for us. And obviously, like, this year now too, we're like, listen, playoff run, like, we need that. You feel it now, you're like, I need more.
As she enters her third season, Aliyah claims that the perspective has changed. No more snooping around on others. No more stories about the underdog. The Fever are now predicted to win because of the summer additions, the new coaching staff, and the attention being paid to Caitlin Clark. That adds purpose along with pressure. Aliyah said they wouldn't have it any other way, even though every team is vying for them.
It's a lot of change.
Yes.
You have a coaching change.
Yep.
You have it's a big free agency year for you guys. And really overnight, what that big free agency year was, or big change was expectations change.
Yes.
So you guys went from like this up and coming, where it's like you're getting to know each other, to now it's like, oh, they could win the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what was the experience of essentially becoming like, instead of being the hunter, you're now the hunted?
Yeah. It's crazy, but I feel like it was definitely expected. Like,
she understands what it takes: chemistry, constancy, and an unwillingness to offer justifications. It's all a part of the game, including injuries, lineup changes, and outside noise. However, the Fever aren't only showing up to play this season. They're going to take over. Additionally, Aliyah claims that after they get everything worked out, things will become frightening for everyone else.
But then you added in Caitlin, right? And everybody's like, oh, like, they're going to be this, and this. And now everybody's like, oh, you know what? We're going to prove you wrong. Like, hell no. Like, that's how it is. And then this year, too, obviously we go in the free agency and everybody's like, yeah, like, they got, for us, we always think, like, you have to approach every season with, like, we're winning this whole season. So that was our mindset. And I think when you look at expectations, once again, expectations come from everyone outside. Because, like, in our circle, we know exactly what we want to do. We also understand that it's a process. We understand that new faces, new coaches, like, different style play for people joining us. It's like people need time to figure it out once again. But when you do figure it out, it's going to be scary.
Additionally, the 2025 season didn't exactly go as planned for the Fever. Expectations that were lofty soon gave way to reality. And Caitlin Clark was among the many people who suffered injuries as a result of that harsh reality. Losing such a key player in the middle of the season may have caused everything to fall apart for a young club still figuring itself out. However, Aliyah Boston asserts that this team is unflinching.
It's definitely been a struggle, but I think just at the start of the season too, like, you know, you have your start of the season meetings and you're talking, and for us it was about, listen, like, no matter what happens in the season, it's next woman up and you have to be ready. And I feel like obviously struggling with injuries, and then, you know, you sign people and then they leave, and it's like, listen, like, whoever is next, be ready to play, because it doesn't matter. Like, the games still keep coming. Like, you still have to be ready to compete.
She clarifies that the message was obvious from the first day of the season. The next female: while injuries are unavoidable, excuses are not. Everyone is expected to be prepared to step in and contribute, whether they are a starter or a role player. She claims that despite important components being absent, their ability to compete night in and night out has been largely attributed to that mentality.
Curious, specific to Caitlin being on the floor, off the floor. And I saw you talk on your own podcast about like the spacing and how different it is. But when you're entering a game, like your mental prep, how does it change? Because it's two different systems essentially.
However, Caitlin Clark's departure meant more than just losing a playmaker. It changed the direction of their offense as a whole. Aliyah remarked about the differences between playing on the floor with and without Caitlin. You're constantly on guard when she's out there. The tempo quickens, the ball travels more quickly, and the defenses get longer. I loved how Aliyah put it. You should be prepared to run when Caitlin is playing.
Honestly, like, when C is on the floor, I'm like, listen, be ready to run. Be ready to get out. Be ready because she's looking. She's looking. Going. She wants to play fast. Super early in the offense, and like we do that too as well here. But I think sometimes too now without her, like we can get into like a little more half court execution, make the defenses work a little bit harder. First side, second side, third side, and then I think when you have like Kelsey, when Kelsey's playing in transition, get that ball up to her and make her.
I've never seen anybody so bouncy.
Like she is unbelievable.
I'm
and then when you put her
shoes?
In screens, it's like, what do you do?
Bouncing all over.
She is moving. She's making the right read. And it's like, listen, and she's scoring the ball at a very high level.
The game becomes slower without her. The Fever switch to more half-court play, forcing opposition to defend later in the shot clock as they go through a variety of possibilities. It's simply different, not better or worse. Additionally, the Fever have become more adaptive as a result of learning to flourish in both systems. In an otherwise difficult season, Aliyah cites this adaptability as one of their greatest advantages.
When she's on the floor, like she's looking to get up, people can be like, listen, I don't need to outlet because I know once we rebound, we're getting it up. But I also think it, once again, it's like puts people on their toes because they're like, whoa, I need to find Kelsey in transition. I need to find Ari now. Like we got to find Sophie and Lexi knocking down threes. Like it's different, but I think everyone is once again finding their own rhythm and that we just did a great job of like putting it all together.